Hi everyone, welcome to the latest and greatest episode of Failing Up. Today I'm sitting down with David Hoffman, the co-founder of Bankless, one of the biggest crypto podcasts. In this episode, we talk about the art of starting a podcast, the internet being super polarized, as well as what it's like to start a career in crypto. I learn a lot from him always. He's an incredible speaker and someone who's amazing at being interviewed as well as interviewing. So I hope you love this episode as much as I do. So excited to have you in the chair finally after all this time.
I'm honored to be here.
So we were just talking about, actually, I am curious. Is college a scam? We were just talking about that.
It is becoming more scammy, but it's also up to the individual to not get scammed by college either. So,
okay. So you justify, my school, for example, was $69,000.
Yeah. $69,000. Nice. It's like expensive and
$69,420.
Yeah.
Every single year.
If you're as a student gonna take on that debt, it's up to, parents should also be helping kids with this decision. It's like, hey, your speech pathology degree is not going to pay for $250,000 of debt.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I actually wanted to be an environmental science major, and my parents were like, "Do you want to work at Starbucks your whole life?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're like, "See you at Starbucks," and they're like, "We're not paying that much money for you to work at Starbucks. You'll never be able to pay that off." In hindsight, so they didn't let me. And I was like, "All right, thank God."
That was good advice?
Yeah, that was actually good advice.
Yeah. I got a psych degree. That did not. Nothing about my psychology degree has actually turned into money.
Hasn't that applied to you getting into crypto?
See, that's why it also depends on the person. So
okay,
if you
tell
can
me what you did with that
leverage
degree then.
I think for me, psych was just patterns. I really liked patterns. And when I was learning about crypto, establishing knowledge about crypto, we're to this day, the industry itself is still learning about how does this work? I got into crypto in 2017 and no one knew how anything worked. And so for a while, just all we were doing, we as in the content producing side of crypto, which was also emerging in 2018, all we were doing was sharing ideas and trying to grow knowledge by pattern matching what we knew about computer science, finance, anthropology, and human coordination systems and governance systems. Who could ever pattern match the best could actually lead crypto pretty effectively.
And can you define what you dive into more detail on who pattern matched the best and what did they
I personally think Vitalik Buterin is the best pattern matcher in crypto.
Why?
He is a polymath, so he is just very well versed in a variety of disciplines. If you go read his blog, one blog is about economics, one blog is about computer science. He really loves math. He loves math. So cryptography as well. And then he'll go and he also is a student of history, and he takes all of these lessons and writes these blog posts and connects them. It's and here's why we're going to design Ethereum in this particular way. And it's just only somebody who was a discipline of many, many different arenas of study would be able to do that. And I think that's what crypto was going through, that phase of its life. I don't really think it's in that phase much anymore. We kind of know what we're doing now. But for a while, it's we were all feeling around in the dark, and you needed to be more than just an engineer in order to know what we were doing here.
So I'm curious. I actually... I worked in crypto I think I started in 2020. I actually left in 2021 and a half, 2022. Yeah, sure. Got absolutely smoked after
that's the rite of passage.
FTX 360. And I was my parents were Claire, literally, what are you doing?
We all had our smokings of crypto.
Yes, for sure. What about the community of crypto has changed? Because back then, honestly, it was a lot of grifting. At these conferences, I was tokenizing plants, tokenizing
strawberries
carbon
on the
dioxide.
blockchain.
Yeah, exactly. So what has changed about that time versus this time, these two different markets?
Yeah, I think the big thing is we kind of just figured it out, that it being a lot of this is BS. And since a lot of this is BS, let's just do meme coins. And we'll just strip the BS out of things, and we'll just do all the same things that we're always doing, but the BS is gone because they're all meme coins. And that's actually kind of forced a lot of projects to have to be better, which is good. Which is good. So
how does it force projects to be better?
Because of vaporware projects that were maybe they're half scams, half not scams. They're telling a good story. They sound nice. They have some talent. Yeah, maybe they'll do something. But like, if you're being really honest, like everyone kind of knows that like, there's not really a there. But because there wasn't a venue for, speculators to speculate on outside of those projects, they were the casino games. And so meme coins just took the rampant speculation out.
It's just honesty.
It's just super honest.
It's a shitcoin. I don't know what else you want from me.
Exactly, yeah. But now your shitcoins don't have to have like VC fundraises.
Yeah.
And so we took the speculative premium out of like mid-tier projects, a lot of mid-tier projects weren't viable.
So I'm curious as to your perspective on what the administration has done for crypto. I feel like to a normal person's eye who doesn't know a thing about crypto, which is I feel like a decent amount of America, it's just like full on grifting, right? It's like World Liberty Fi,
institutionalized
Solana,
grifting, at the highest office.
Yes, literally presidential level. You know what
grifting.
I mean? Yeah. So how do you? I aspire to be on that level. But like,
don't we all?
in your eyes, what are things that you've actually appreciated that the administration has done, and what are things that you're like, okay, long term, while this may be bringing a lot of money into the market, long term this may hurt the effective like trust that people have in crypto, etc.
I'm kind of on the camp that short and medium term, it burns trust in crypto from a specific part of the country. Long term, it actually, what Donald Trump has done, the Trump administration is going to be very beneficial to crypto because all the quiet, boring parts that aren't going to be talked about on mainstream media, that aren't going to generate any rage bait headlines are he's putting the right people in charge in the right place. And I'm talking about Paul Atkins, Hester Peirce, who's already been there, but now she's enabled because Gary Gensler's out of there because Donald Trump's like, I'm going to fire Gary Gensler on day one. And then Gary Gensler just quit. And so made room for Paul Atkins, made room for Hester Peirce to do exactly what she needs to do. And just overall like rule making around crypto. We got legislation in through Congress. The first ever crypto legislation ever got put through Congress. And so all of these things, which are the things that matter, the actual rules, the actual regulations, sensible people are making sensible legislation. They're not giving crypto a blank check. They're not just saying, hey, crypto, you get to do whatever you want now. They're doing it smart and they're doing it well. And that's going to pay dividends in the future. That's following through on Donald Trump saying we're going to make the crypto capital of United States the crypto capital of the world. On the flip side, Donald Trump is like, okay,
grifting.
I gave all of you guys exactly what I want, and now I'm going to create 17 different bribery vectors, and I'm going to allow Saudi Arabia to donate $2 million, and I'm going to sell them high-end GPUs that we totally didn't allow them to have earlier. And by the way, they're really good friends with China. Just never mind the CHIPS Act, and that's just one. I also have the Trump token with Justin Sun, bought a bajillion dollars of, and now he's shaking hands with me. Also happens to be a #1 investor in World Liberty Financial. And so on the flip side, if you're into the political PR chess arena, all the Democrats are like, well, look how terrible crypto is because of what Donald Trump has done with it. And you're like, well, it's kind of hard to argue with. But he's done all the good stuff, the fundamentally true good stuff as well. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. If he can do the good, why can't he do the bad? You know what I mean?
Like on Bankless, we call it the grift tax. He's like, I'm going to do everything you guys want, and then I'm just going to give you the grift tax, and I'm going to extract billions of dollars. And
I will say something I respect about him is that he's very open about his grifting. He's not going to pretend like he's not grifting. He's just like, flat out, this is a scam. Oh, like right before I pass a law on like crypto legislation, I'm going to launch a meme coin, and then my wife is going to launch a meme coin, and then then I'll host a dinner with people who buy the most meme coins.
Totally.
Private dinner.
Totally. And then that's all I have to do. He hosted one dinner and he's like, done.
He's like, all right, no, market cap drops by 80%. It's fine. So I think I do want to talk about more diving into like I feel like Trump meme politics, Twitter culture. How has crypto Twitter changed in the last couple of years? Would you say it's like, I feel like me personally, I feel like overall the internet has become extremely, extremely pessimistic. Like it's like a dark black hole. The darkest black hole for me personally was 2 weeks ago or after Charlie Kirk got murdered.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Right.
And it was a school shooting on the same day. It was
doom scrolling real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was mad. I was like, you know what? I need to share, just like everyone else. I was like, let me share my completely irrelevant opinion as if that's going to change anything.
Yeah. I would like to see how crypto Twitter would have changed in a vacuum, but the algorithm has also changed as well. So it's hard to say how crypto Twitter has evolved versus how has the algorithm differed and rewarded different things. But on netting it out, 2018 through 2021, like crypto Twitter is so optimistic, and everyone was competing to be useful and to spread good information, spread knowledge. And so I would get home from work and be like, all right, I would like to gain followers today. What do I want to do about that? Let me go find some knowledge and share knowledge, and I'll package this knowledge up in really like digestible tweets and graphs, and I'll just share knowledge, and then I'll get like 1,000 likes and it's going to go viral. And that's how you went viral, is like you were just useful as a Twitter account. Now it's all dunking. Now we just dunk on people.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's a lot more like high school cafeteria.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's a high school. It's a popularity contest. It's like who's based. You can't really care too much, because if you care, that's not cool. Like, yeah, if you care,
masculine men. Yeah, men used to go to. I feel like there is this weird like new version of masculinity that's coming out. What do they say? Like everyone else is a soy boy. You need to like.
Oh yeah, you need to be an alpha. Yeah. So like whoever can dunk harder on other people. Yeah. And then it's all about making money. And like to be clear, it's always about making money. Crypto is money. It's always been about making money.
Yeah.
But like there was originally like money with a purpose, like money with some sense of like nobility. And like that's Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is noble money. I'll call Bitcoin noble money. I also think Ethereum, the whole Ethereum project is like noble. And like that, me saying these words is very like holier than thou, and it like turns off a lot of the newer entrants into crypto, where it's like, I'm here for the entertainment. I'm here to be entertained. Yeah.
So to you, it's more of like sacred kind of.
To me, it's like a purpose. Yeah. Like we can do things with this technology that will allow humanity to like ascend in this like socio-cultural tech stack. Like we're going to level up as a whole entire society, and we're going to be better for it. And there will be less suffering and more wealth, and everyone's going to be a little bit more harmonious with each other because we created technology that allowed us to do this. Other technologies do this too, like cars and the internet. And so like, it's not just crypto, but like crypto's a very powerful social coordination tool, and that's good. And then I think like that message hasn't reverberated with like newer generations of crypto as much.
And be it that you are Bankless is like a big source of information in crypto. And there is, I do feel like, just like I was talking about this with you on the phone earlier. It does feel like people are living in different realities at this point. There are different echo chambers. People are just in their little tunnels. And I don't think it's necessarily their fault that they can't see outside of those echo chambers. I think it's the algorithm that's literally just like so customly curated to keep you locked into whatever corner of the internet you want to be in. Long-winded way of asking, how do you stay objective when you report information? And where do you get your information from? Not like sources, but how do you learn how to trust the sources you use to get your information?
Right. Yeah. So like a lot of Bankless editorial decisions comes from just me and Ryan being interested about something. And usually that interest is anchored to some like attitude or belief that we have. Like we kind of call this like the Bankless thesis, which isn't really like articulated or stated anywhere. It's just like kind of this vibe of property rights, crypto property rights, DeFi, very Ethereum coded, Western liberal values being expressed by crypto protocols, like kind of stuff like this. And so all the content that we are ever interested in is in that orbit. We did an episode today with this guy who is just like an expert on authoritarian repression technology. And so we were just asking like, yo, I'm just kind of curious, like what if like China went full autocrat and just decided that it was going to repress the hell out of its citizenry? What technology is available to them? Like what tools are out there today, right now? And this guy's the expert. And so Ryan and I were just like talking back and forth and like, I don't know. And so let's go find the guy who can tell us exactly what technology exists.
Oh, that's cool. So you don't find the source, you find the person that knows the most about the source.
Yes. Yeah. And so like when there's a topic out there, it's like repression technology. How good is it today? And we have to go find the person. ChatGPT was very helpful in that. He's an author. He wrote 2 books. And he was very helpful. And so like that's kind of like how we make decisions about content. Is one example. And then on crypto Twitter, it's only useful for crypto native topics. And it's a little bit like, okay, so we're a media company. We live off of eyeballs. So we have to do topics that other people find interesting too, not just us. And so there's a synergy between what does crypto Twitter find interesting and what do we think is good for the world. And that's why we've kind of just like opted out of the whole like pump fund meta, because like I just can't. I mean, we're not good at it. That it's like a skill there. We're not in that arena. That's a different school cafeteria that we don't go to that school. And so we're just bad content producers about that. So even though there are eyeballs there, we're just not the right people to do that content. So when Vitalik writes a blog post about DeFi, we do make content about that. That's more of a, like our product market fit. And it's a very noisy place, but you have to align your listeners with the zeitgeist.
And what do you think made Bankless so successful?
We told the fully integrated story about why crypto is powerful and good. And if you learn about crypto, you learn that like, okay, you start with money, and then you go to finance, but then you open up rabbit holes like identity and governance and cryptography, all these different things. And when you learn about crypto, you go down this rabbit hole and you're like, oh my God, there's so much here. It's so rich. We were the first ones to actually take that story, tell it coherently, put a vision around it, put a thesis around it that offered scaffolding for people to anchor their knowledge to. And so we were, like, simply put, we were the first ones to tell the story of crypto in a way that was like mainstream accessible.
And you think that helped it scale successfully?
I don't really know this to be true, but I think we onboarded the most amount of people in 2021 out of anyone in the industry.
And how's your positioning shifted since then? Or is it still the same?
It's still the same. The first like 2 years of Bankless had an arc to it. And so you can go back and listen to episodes like 1 through 200 and you're kind of going along the journey. And then we kind of like told the story and now there's not too much left to tell. Mm-hmm. So now we're kind of like at the tip of the chain, to use a crypto metaphor. We're like at the, we're
good.
And so
we're now it's that,
everyone. We're at the, so like now it's a little bit run and maintain. It's like now it's just keeping up with the news. And so the people that have been with this arc have that as their foundation. But I think if you, like Bankless was truly special back then, like we were making bangers of content, and now it's like now we're kind of.
What do you mean? You're still making bangers.
We still make bangers, but like the arc is kind of over. Like the story is told.
Okay, so what is your hope that Bankless can evolve into in the next couple of years? Because you guys have like evolved over time. Because I remember one time I was talking to you, like hired multiple people. Yeah. You are now doing something. You had a fund.
Yeah, we have a VC fund.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at a pretty good equilibrium. So we have like 15 people on the media company, and we've spun up a second podcast with second co-hosts, and so we're trying to make the Bankless for frontier tech, and that's with Josh Kale and Ijaz Amahadin.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So that's called Limitless. We have Bankless and we got Limitless, and Limitless is all about non-crypto technology, because Josh is like a very optimistic storyteller of frontier technology. Uh-huh. He loves Tesla, big Tesla fanboy. He loves Apple. He loves like tinkering with gadgets. He loves AI. So all this kind of stuff. And so we're growing that second to brand. But in terms of like the podcast, we just want to be there in telling the good story of crypto. And like we have guests that no one really ever gets on. Like we have all the regulators, we have the congressmen, congress ladies. And we want to represent crypto in a way that we don't think anyone really can. Mm-hmm. And so we will always be there for that. But like in terms of like the company, it's like found itself a pretty good equilibrium and we're pretty happy with where it is. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, it's turned out incredible.
Thank you.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
To more success. What are some things that a lot of people, okay, so I feel like a couple of years ago, we went through this massive podcast wave in the middle of COVID. Yeah. Kind of died down. And then it's like, what is worse than seeing a man with a microphone? Literally the seventh circle of hell or whatever. That was the running joke.
I love to tell people on dates that I'm a white male crypto podcaster.
They're probably like, I gotta go. gotta leave. Your male privilege. Oh no. Okay. So what is something that people get wrong when wanting to start podcasts?
I think people start, the first thing I'll say is like people say, oh, David, I want to start a podcast. Like, what advice do you have for me? Like,
I'm pretty sure I came to you with that too the first time.
The number one thing I'll say is like, sometimes people want to start a podcast because they actually wish that they were on other people's podcasts and they just want to talk. And so that's like their secret, like, so they haven't identified that in themselves, but I'm like, say, hey, like, reflect on this for a moment. Maybe subconsciously you actually just want to be on other people's podcasts, but you're not being invited. and you just want to hear yourself
There's
talk.
no way that's a serious reason for a lot of people.
Not explicitly.
Really?
But I think that's like subconscious motivation of I think I have great ideas and I want to talk. And like some podcasts are like the podcaster led in the sense that like Dan Carlin, for example, he just talks for 4 hours straight and he puts a ton of work into it. That's not my podcast. That's not most podcasts. We ask questions. So you have to be a good question asker, not a good talker. And most people actually just want to talk. And so I'll say like, hey, just make sure like you get good guests and then you ask the best questions and then you shut up and then you let the guest talk. And
how am I doing that?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I do like to talk.
You have to talk you have to want to talk like a little bit, right? I couldn't code, I could talk. So I started a podcast, but also the idea of being a good podcaster is like, you should enable your guest the best.
Yeah. What are the 3 characteristics of an incredible podcaster that you've seen in yourself and other people? Yeah.
I'll answer an adjacent question. If you want to make a great podcast, you want to prep hard. You want to climb the guest ladder. That's actually 2. That's the 2 big ones. Is you want to have more prep than your competitors, and then you need to always climb the next biggest guest. And that's 2 things that I think a lot of people fail at is like they kind of just like run into an interview and just like start winging it. And then also they don't really like they need to move up the guest ladder, the bigger and bigger guests.
So how do you now I'm literally just asking for myself.
Sure.
How do you do that? Because I emailed Mark Cuban. I like pitched everyone under like not everyone under the sun, but I pitched a lot of really big people and it feels like they are quite impossible to get a hold of.
Yeah, so you have to always get the next biggest guest. So it's the most marginal.
He did answer.
Guest.
Mark Cuban did answer. Yeah. He said,
he's a big email guy.
He's like, so sorry, can't make it. Super busy. I was like, okay. I emailed him
I have
again.
gotten a very similar answer from Mark Cuban in the past too. Yeah, I mean, so like every guest has a community, and so like you want their community. That's kind of like why you bring them on. And then you hope that like you are the interesting host, that you're like, your community's like, oh, I really liked her. She asked really smart questions. Let me see who she has on next. And then you get some user retention. And then also because you got like, again, the next bigger guest, you just always kind of like size up to the next bigger community and the next bigger community. And like 3% of them stick around every single episode. And then there you are.
Interesting. And how do you approach people pitching you? Because I've gotten pitches before, and I guess what do you do? Get on a call and see if they're a good fit, or?
Usually I know that they are going to be good on a podcast, like they can talk before I even ask. Sometimes I've
gone a little, I'm like, yeah, sure. I think that's a great idea. I'd love to have you on.
Yeah. So on Bankless, I'm gas, Ryan is brakes. And so I'll be like, Ryan, I think this is a good guess idea. And he's like, whoa. Let's suss this out a little bit.
Think.
And he's like saved me some bad guess. But usually like the pitches, in the same way, like you need them to open your email and not mark it as junk, is like you need to give a good earnest pitch that shows that you're real, that you like are a good host, that you have insightful questions. And it's not just like, yeah, you have like an angle and you kind of show them that angle in your email. And so with this author that was all about repression technology, I just told him the story. I was like, yeah, me and Ryan, my co-host, we're going back and forth, and we're like, we don't know the state of digital repression technology. And so we were just asking some very big questions, and I just listed off like the 5 big questions that we would want to ask. I was like, are you the guy? And he was like, I am the guy. So it was like the nature of the questions and the insightfulness of the questions, I think is what like piqued him.
And who has been your favorite guest that you've ever had? And what did you learn from them?
That's a good question. Gary Kasparov was the guest that I was like, I'm nervous.
Okay. Who is that? I don't know.
He's a chess player. Okay. He's a Russian political commentator that got exiled from Russia by Putin. And so he's a big freedom guy because he was anti-Putin. Okay. Anti-Putin.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't kill him then.
Well, he ran away.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he lives in New York now. He works at the Human Rights Foundation.
Nice.
And he was also the first. He was the world's greatest chess player for a while. And he was the first chess player to first beat Deep Blue, the Google computer, and then lose to Deep Blue. So he was the first human to get beaten by a chess computer. Yeah.
That's quite incredible.
Yeah.
And what did you learn from him?
We were just talking about like Russia and freedom and how crypto is a part of like dissident technology. Yeah. Like how crypto can help people in authoritarian states be free. And then also like the big question that we started with was like, in the 90s, like Russia caved and America we won the Cold War. And now here's Putin. Like what happened? Why is there still an authoritarian dictator at the helm of Russia? And so that was like the big question. But then we got into like AI because AI had come around by then. But like Gary Kasparov was like, that was a pretty cool one.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I had never heard of him, but that sounds like such an interesting story.
Yeah.
Circling back to how you got started in crypto, you said originally it started with like heartbreak and loneliness, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not said that yet on this podcast, but I have said that to you.
Well, maybe tell me more.
It's coming out of school. I had my like college sweetheart that was like together for like almost 4 years or something. And she broke up with me and I was devastated. I thought I was going to marry her. And so, I was like in a pretty like dark hole.
Valid crash out. Mm-hmm.
Totally. Yeah. And at the same time, like my friends that I had kind of all like disbanded as a friend group. So it was like a double whammy. It was like heartbreak and then just like didn't have like a social net to like use. And this was in like late 2016. I found crypto in 2017 and it was just like the best tool to distract myself. And I just threw myself into crypto, like learning as much as I could about crypto because I didn't have to think about anything else. It like occupied my brain. And also at the same time, I was like trying to get my way into physical therapy school. But I just noticed myself paying attention to crypto stuff more and more and more. It was like living rent free in my brain. And like my time spent studying for the GRE was up here and my time learning about crypto was here. And then those things just like inverted. And all of a sudden,
why are you so passionate about it? You could really drill down to why.
It's frequently novel, like week in, week out. Like every week there's like something new. Mm-hmm. Whereas like if I was going into like PT school or psych or something else, I was like, well, there's like centuries of knowledge built up here. And so things don't really change. And the novelness and the pace of change and the kind of just like the social conversation that exists on the internet about crypto, everything is new. And so for somebody whose brain works like kind of goes, it's like it's going a lot. Crypto's great because like there's always something to think about. There's always something to discuss and deliberate and to learn. And so kind of like how I said, crypto is like an intersection of so many different disciplines. That means so many different things are relevant to crypto. So there's just so much different like surface area to talk about. So it just occupied my brain. And it's just like after a while, I was like, okay, I'm not studying to get into PT school anymore. I'm only thinking about crypto. Clearly, this is a sign that I should point my attention and my career that way.
And how, because, okay, I feel like circling back also on our college point, the outlook for kids in college is not very bright right now, right?
Yeah, I would probably say so, yeah.
10.6% unemployment with people between the ages of 20 and 25,
mm-hmm.
which is super, super high. I think they're the most highly unemployed people. How would you approach giving someone advice who is either stuck in a role that they aren't sure that they want or are about to graduate college and don't know how to find the career path that they want?
Yeah.
Because you made a pretty risky move, right? Because you didn't have coding experience.
Nope.
And you still went into crypto anyways.
Yeah.
Which was probably at the time, like people did not care about I feel like the community aspect really early on. Like the marketing and branding and all that stuff. I feel like that came later.
Yeah. One of the big things that compelled me about crypto is I went to ETH Denver and I truly did meet the Ethereum community there. And I was like, oh, these are my people.
ETH Denver. Remember 2021? What was it? Deadmau5, Harmony flew out with Deadmau5. I remember because this was on my birthday at the church. Yep. And then there was Tiesto, Diplo.
God, at ETH Denver?
Yes, all three of them were there that year. It was chaos.
Wow, we spent way too much money.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, continue. So this was a much smaller ETH Denver. This was a like 6,000 person ETH Denver in 2018. And we were not, I think we weren't, it was much, much smaller. And it's like meeting the Ethereum community there. I was like, oh, these are my people. And so like a large part of that pulled me into crypto was like, oh, the people in this industry are interesting. Like I'm fascinated by and learning everything from these people. And so that was another big choice of just like, yo, not only can I build a career here, but like there's a social network here. And that's also what I was looking for at the time. It's like, I'd been part of like social networks, been part of the fraternity in college and a soccer team in high school.
You were a frat boy?
Yeah.
No way. What?
Frat boy is a small liberal arts school, so I don't know how fratty that goes.
At Chapman University, not like University of Arizona.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But then when I met all these crypto people, I was like, oh, this is my tribe. And so like the big takeaway is like, oh, if you think you're gonna do this one career, maybe go meet people in that career and find out if they're fun or not to you, if you like spending time, because people, birds of a feather flock together. If you're gonna pick an industry, you're gonna go hang out with the people in the industry so you know what that's actually like. And what else was your question?
It was how would you advise people to figure out what they want to do or break into an industry that's potentially risky?
Yeah. The other bit of advice I have on that is I was, before even doing PT, I was trying to become a clinical psychologist, and I was making no progress on that route whatsoever, just doing nothing. But like, if people ask me, it's like, hey, what do you want to do? It's like, oh, I think I'm going to become a clinical psychologist. Like, it's what I want to do.
And why did you want to do that at the time?
I was a psych major. Mom was a psychologist. Really was into positive psychology. So like positive psychology is like, well, most psychology is like making sick people normal, but everyone has a psyche. And we can help normal people become even better. And so how do we positively apply psychology? I was really into that. But I guess not that into it because I never followed through on like pursuing that, even though like I consciously told people that. And I was like, yeah, like I'll try to build this career. But I didn't actually do any of the things that would actually follow through on that. And I wasn't paying attention to it at the time because I was a naive young 20-year-old. But like, yo, that's signal. Like if it doesn't feel easy to you, maybe find something else that feels easier. And, work should always be hard. But I mean, I work very hard every single day. I have a company to lead, but it's fun. It's sick. And I think if I would just not have that same level of entertainment or enjoyment in my work, and I wasn't consciously picking up on that, but in hindsight, I wasn't making any progress on that early career choice because it wasn't the right fit for me. And so, yeah, figure out who's in your industry if you want to be friends with them for the rest of your life, because you're going to be with them for the rest of your life. And then, yeah, make sure that you can actually have fun going to work every single day and it's something that's exciting to you. And
in the voicemail you told me, you sent to me, you said the importance of writing. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so that's something very unique to me that I think can expand broadly. Writing to me has always helped me establish my thoughts. I've learned the most going through the writing process.
What is the writing process?
So I want to write an article, 1,000-word article, 2,000-word article. I have an idea that I need to get out there, and I also need to get it out there clearly. And I need to land the punches and make the points and make the arguments and carry the reader along from point A to point B to point C to arrive at the conclusion. And I need to not lose them along the way. I need to make my arguments, and I need to do that all clearly. And I also need to make it fun to read. And you might have an idea in your head and it's like, oh, I'm going to write about this. But then by the time you finish writing, you might have actually adapted your idea or changed your idea because maybe it didn't hold up. Or maybe you thought about even more ideas. There's something about the writing process where you have to actually lay down all of your thoughts and organize them and then put them back together into a coherent essay that is just it's a learning opportunity. It's a growth opportunity.
So when you write, because I was talking to someone about this the other day, and they talked about the importance of writing down your ideas as well. You just think the thoughts and start writing, or you try to structure it first?
Yeah, first I kind of just like do a not even a draft, but just like here's paragraph 1, or here's like part 1, here's part 2, here's part 3. And then there are the sub arguments or sub points in those things. And so there's like a beginning, middle, end that I'll build out and be like, okay, at a high level, does this all fit together? And then I'll start to like fill it in. And so draft up the general flow, the general points I want to make, and kind of fill it in as I go.
Who's your favorite writer?
Ooh. It's a good question. Ironically, I don't really read that much. Yuval Noah Harari's up there. I feel like that's a pretty basic answer. He wrote *Sapiens*.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not a good reader either. I listen to audiobooks, but my retention for information is like
Bad.
negative 5,000.
Yeah, especially with audiobooks. Yeah.
No, wait, really? I try to write down everything from audiobooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I take notes.
Oh, I'm absentmindedly just listening to bullshit. Yeah.
Wait, so how do you retain information?
I write.
So I write too. Why am I not retaining the same information?
I don't know. Teach their own. Teach their own.
Because I feel like, I feel like social media is to blame for a lot of the lack of retaining information.
Yeah. It makes information much faster. So longer form stuff doesn't stick as well.
Yeah, and also you context switch. Like I was literally talking about this the other day. You see, I don't know, like the World Cup finals, then you see someone getting assaulted, and then you see like a meme, and then I don't know.
And now you're fighting on Twitter.
Now you're fighting on Twitter.
Yeah.
So you are obviously one of the bigger voices in crypto, right? Is there any psychological toll that happens from that? Or are you kind of
Probably.
are you like, whatever, it's fine, it is what it is?
I think I'm closer to that.
You're like happy. Thank God for this responsibility.
Yeah, things tend to bounce off. I'm not too bothered by things. Maybe I'm more bothered than I'm aware of. Other people are very bothered. Like Ryan, my partner, gets very bothered by things, and he just has to like log off. I can fight on Twitter for a while. I shouldn't. It's not productive for anyone.
Keyboard warrior?
Yeah, like to some degree. Like I don't know. I find debating fun, but yeah, I think I'm not like necessarily representative of the average Twitter participant. Mm-hmm. I do think like psyche is impacted by arguing on Twitter, and especially because like if you're behind your phone, it's like people only get road rage because you're inside of a 6,000 pound vehicle and they're inside their 6,000 pound vehicle. So you guys just don't have to be humans to each other. So you get mad. It's the same thing with phones. It's just like everything is just completely dehumanized. And so you forget that there's a human on the other end. There might not be because it could be a bot. Like you don't really know. And so the environment itself is just like so incredibly just hostile. And so we lose our own humanity when we participate in that. And that's true for just like all social medias probably. And it's like there's too many people on there to like account for everyone.
Do you think there's a world in which we become less polarized? Like, give me the trajectory for the internet in the next couple of years. I'd be curious.
I feel like the simple, easy answer is it becomes more polarized. And I think like a lot of the political violence that we are seeing is because of the internet. Because people are in their isolated parts of the internet and they're not touching base with the parts that they aren't exposed to, and that allows them to become radical. And I think that's generally true of like trends, like tribes on crypto Twitter. Tribes are radical. Political tribes.
How are they radical? What do you mean? Like
like because people are like Solana or death, like stuff like that. Like some people just like.
Are they that? Is it? Can it be compared to being political? Like they can't talk to someone who's pro Bitcoin. They're like, you're actually stupid and deserve to die. Or is it like
sometimes?
Really?
Yeah, it can be that bad. Where like the fact that I once upon a time I went to a Solana conference. And then people in the Ethereum community are like, what are you doing there? Why are you at the Solana conference? And I'm like, I just wanted to see what's up. I don't know. It's in a place that I can go to. And so, yeah, it's like to some degree, somebody like, yeah, why are you associating with them? Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So I guess that applies a little bit more politically. And yeah, I mean, do you think there is a world in which we could become less polarized? I mean, Oracle's going to have is going to keep track of the TikTok algorithm. So
there is no technology that I currently know that makes us less polarized. Like Elon Musk wants to deliver a choose your own model kind of thing with Twitter, he says, so everyone can pick their own model, which is kind of cool.
Give me the pros and cons of what you think could go well or wrong with that.
Well, I mean, you could just like devolve into complete hedonism and you're like, I'm of a political leanings, only show me those political leanings, and also only show me dopamine videos. So confirm my biases and entertain me, which is actually probably what the default mode is anyways, actually, right now. Depends on how fine-tuned we could get it, but you could also say like, also show me like, allow 3% of my opposing political leanings, allow 3% of those to break through my filter so I see some amount of opposing side stuff. Like depends on how fine grained we could get it, but you could build your media feed in the same way like you cook a meal. It's like, okay, I'll have this much veggies, I'll have this much dessert. Like you kind of compose it like that.
This much far right, this much far left, Antifa, sprinkles some hate crime and some whatever.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think the hardest thing to see has been people be like fully radicalized, like live. I see it happen. I don't know if you've seen it happen with any of your friends, but I've seen it happen with very close friends of mine.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was one of my friends in college who like I've been best friends with him through high school, and I just like in terms of tinfoil hat, it was that times a million.
Yeah.
It was like you could not convince him that the government wasn't run by people who are lizards. Like every single conspiracy he just believed was entirely true.
Yeah. After the Charlie Kirk assassination, I saw this one guy talking into his camera, and he was just like, you leftists just declared war. You're going to get it. Like, blah, blah, blah. This means war. And I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, you're talking to this imaginary concept of the left.
Wait, if you don't mind me asking, where do you lean politically?
Like left of center. I took a political compass test the other day, and I ended up being right of center. I'm like anti-authoritarian.
Okay.
Born in Seattle, so like
So you're over there.
But ever since I got into crypto, I'm becoming more and more right. Yeah, so I'm in the middle.
Crypto is right leaning, right? Because they're anti-government, anti-censorship.
I don't know if the right is anti-government. So yeah,
big government.
Big government. Yeah, that's what they say. But both sides are big government. Both sides are big government.
You got the left and the right. Each other so hard. It's like, who can cancel me?
Totally.
I'm gonna cancel you.
Totally.
Uno reverse.
Yeah, people forget about the top down versus bottom up, where top down is authoritarianism and bottom is libertarianism. Crypto leans libertarian.
Oh,
and I think crypto is like, okay, maybe crypto's more free markets. I think liberals should be more pro free markets, but I think crypto's mostly neutral. It's definitely libertarian and anti-authoritarian.
What was I asking? I was asking you something
where I lean.
Yeah. Because I feel like, we were talking about the like the imaginary audience that people on both sides speak to, right? Because you have people on the far left who are like, you racist, like horrible, blah, 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 all this stuff. And
they prop up the scarecrows.
There's the far left, there's the far right, and everyone in between.
It's like, you guys are freaking nuts.
And people disagree. And what I was telling people, I was like, people disagree way more than you think. Like,
people, you mean agree? People agree more than you think?
People agree way more than you think.
Yeah.
Or if they do disagree, it's like on just by a menial point. Like abortion, a lot of people disagree on the duration at which you should be able to carry before having an abortion, et cetera. And like people disagree by 1 month or 2 months. And we're over here screaming at each other. You deserve to die. You deserve to be in prison.
So these people who are in that side of things, my hot take is like, I think they need more meaning in their lives, because they are looking to politics to like give them purpose and give them meaning. And they haven't found it in their own lives. And so they have to fill up their time somehow. So they decided to take up this sport of politics and join the tribe.
Olympics.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, this is my team. I'm on this team. And because I don't have anything else going, I'm going to really just dedicate my life to like screaming at liberals on Twitter, even though I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
And I think if they started a company or found a partner, raised some kids, they could fill up their time on more productive things.
The loneliness epidemic.
Oh, yeah?
So we saw the statistics. I don't know if you have an opinion on this, but I was so fascinated. So people are having less and less sex, right? And New York has been voted one of the worst cities to date in the world, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wouldn't know.
I guess, my question is, what are your thoughts on how dating has changed? Like, because you have been in a couple long-term relationships, right? How's that changed today? Like, how do you approach dating today?
Well, I only have my data. I don't know how, my data is my data. I don't know about societal trends at large. And also New York dates very differently than every other city.
How so?
Well, you meet 10,000 more people in New York than any other city.
I think New York dating culture is really, it's kind of maximalist culture. It's like, oh, I'm going out with this person, but I could meet like the VP of JP Morgan tomorrow,
Sure,
or
yeah.
like, but I could meet like this incredible
Yeah.
supermodel who's 6'2".
There's 10,000 opportunities in New York.
Yes.
And like in most other cities, it's the same thing about like why New York is so much more social, in my opinion,
Yes.
which is like on a Friday night, you can do like 4
The
things.
world is your oyster.
You can go out for drinks before dinner, you go to dinner, you go to drinks after dinner, and then you go
You go to a
clubbing.
club.
And then you're home at 3 a.m. and you did
could
4
go to
things.
a painting class.
Doing 4 things in any other city is crazy because that's 4 different Uber trips
Yeah.
and then another one to get home. And like people don't do that. And so
Mm-hmm.
in New York, you like meet someone on a Tuesday and you're like, hey, come to my birthday party on Saturday. And they're like, sure, because I'm just going to only go for an hour. And then
And then I
I'm
have
going
a
to go
thing.
on to
I
my
have a
next
thing.
thing. And so the churn in New York is so much higher. And I think the dating world in New York reflects that.
Yeah. And do you see yourself staying in New York long term?
Yeah. I don't see myself leaving.
Okay, interesting.
So I
you would
think
raise
that's
a
this-
family here? I mean,
No,
assuming,
I
do
would
you want
not.
kids?
I
don't
would
know.
not.
That was a
I do
very
want kids.
far-ahead
I do
question.
not. I cannot imagine raising a family here, but I could not imagine leaving New York before having kids.
Why?
So I would leave New York to have kids.
Where do you think you'd settle down?
I own a home
You want a home?
Mhm.
Where?
in Seattle.
Oh, you're gonna move back to Seattle. We're
Perhaps-
gonna grow up so liberal. I swear. No, I'm
It
kidding.
depends on the theoretical other half. So like she also gets to say.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I don't know where I see home.
You're not going. I don't know. I don't want to dox your hometown out if you haven't.
It's
I don't
okay.
know
It's
if you
okay. You can do
have.
it.
Yeah, you don't see yourself going back home to San Diego.
I think when my parents get older, but I think right now the phase at which I'm like I am in life, New York is just so magnetic.
Yeah.
It's like crack. I'm
Yeah,
like
it's-
I wake up every morning.
I
I'm like
cannot imagine
put it
going
in my
anywhere
veins,
else.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's also so exhausting.
Yeah.
Like I think in a couple of years, I think I'm gonna be like a little.
Yeah, but that's when you go off to like
Paris.
for me. Well, no, I was gonna say like Prospect Heights or something.
Oh,
like
shit.
Prospect. You go a little further away from Manhattan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
further away from the madness.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry. Last question.
Mhm.
We got super sidetracked. What is the biggest and best lesson that you've learned in life?
Biggest and
From
best
any of
lesson
your
that I've learned in
mentors.
life. God, such a big question.
It is.
You should be the best at something in the world. Like everyone should find something that you are the best at, or aspire to be the best at. Being like top % of something.
Mhm.
Just choose a skill, choose a hobby, get really good at that one thing. Maybe it's cooking one dish, and this one dish you are the best in the world at. But like have something that you like no one can really beat you at.
Why?
Well, I don't know. You can like put your own confidence on top of that thing. It's like kind of a proof of work in the sense that like you have to master that thing. There's probably some prerequisite skills that you had to learn to get there. It's just like an anchor for you to build more skills around. And so it gives you some confidence so that like, yeah, like I'm the best at this one thing. And not like maybe the best is like a little bit grandiose, but like the best that you know at the very least.
I like that.
Yeah.
Great response.
Thank
you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Wait, really quick. How can people support Bankless and you?
Bankless.com to read stuff and subscribe to Bankless wherever you get your podcasts.
Follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, Trustless State. 3 S's in the middle. Feels weird to type it out. Yeah, that's all that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Bye.